which is something about fans in Nigeria. It's like there's a preset program in your head. Fans, especially of Whiskey and of Davido, it's like there's a preset program in your head that whatever your principal says or sings, even if he coughs on the mic, you're going to go with it. Yo! Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Good Living Podcast. Today we're talking about this album that just dropped, so listen. Now, judging from the hype of the album, the fact that Davido had lost his son first and then he stayed silent for over a month and everybody was anticipating what his first post would be, and then he eventually announced that he was going on tour with Whiskey and then announced later that he was going to release an album on the 31st. Everybody was pumped and excited, right? And because of that hype, a lot of people expected better. And from a defense, when you're not supporting anybody, from that point of view, you really have to say that the truth is, if you grade them song by song, not everyone is a hit. I would say less than 50% of those songs would constitute a hit for me in Nigeria's market today. And let's just calm down a little bit before anybody comes at me. If you take out each track and compare them with the songs that are trending today, maybe Rema's Holiday, Stability, even, let me not say with the Modo Black Sing song because that one is for a certain kind of people. But if you compare them to Soweto, for example, and to those songs, you see that they do not measure up to those kind of songs. There's one song there that I really do think is worth a shout, and it's one of the best songs I've heard this year, would be One for the Road. It's an interesting song. Everybody is really hyping that one instead of even Timeless, that is supposed to be the main song on the album. And that's the thing. I saw on Twitter today somebody was comparing Essence, I don't know, maybe it was a joke comparison, but comparing Essence with Wizkid with this song that Davido did with Fave. And the song with Fave is mid to me, actually. I don't know, maybe it has to grow on certain people, but I don't think quality songs need time. All right, if it's beautiful and you listen to the sound and it's amazing, then obviously you're going to vibe with it and you're going to feel that, yeah, this song is crazy, it's mad. And people would shout and say, are you richer than Davido? No, I'm not. Can you sing more than him? No, I can't. Do you have his pedigree or his influence? No, I don't. Am I broke? No. So I have an opinion because this music are made for our ears, it's for this market and for the world entirely, but it's for the people to listen to, and then we can have our opinions on it. So when somebody is trying to shut you down and say because you don't have money like Davido, because you don't sing like Davido, then you cannot say something, except you're trying to insult the hard work of a man that has done some professional work. Then you shouldn't be taking any backlash whatsoever. However, what I'm saying is, this album that he just released fell below the expectations of many Nigerians, including myself. And I'm not blaming it entirely on the quality of the video. It's on the packaging and the anticipation level. I think his team does a great job making you anticipate his albums. But I remember this with the A Better Time album. And I remember I was still in school then. And when it dropped, I loved some songs. But at the same time, I was like, I was expecting better with the way this album was hyped. And that's how it is with almost all these albums. That, the hype is plenty, but you can get one sweet or three sweet songs out of an album of 11 songs. And it's not what I'm used to when when that kind of hype comes before a song. For example, Burna Boy's, which one is, I think Twice a Store album. I love that album. And I was not a Burna Boy diehard go hard fan. I still am not even. But I listened to that album and I was like, every single song, the one with PDD, every single song here catches my eye one way or the other. Maybe 2 or 3 songs out of the album I would skip, but I would not skip anything else. And if you're going to be honest with yourself, even if you're a Davido fan, which is something about fans in Nigeria, it's like there's a preset program in your head. Fans, especially of Whiskey and of Davido, it's like there's a preset program in your head that whatever your principal says or sings, even if he coughs on the mic, you're going to go with it. These things are made as jokes, that even if he coughs on the track, you're going to download it, it's going to be number one. But when you take it literally and go to argue, when a song doesn't match a certain level and you go to argue, then it makes you look stupid at the end of the day. Because, for example, there was this Wizkid song. I think Wizkid's verse on this Rexy song was also mid. I don't think it was anywhere near Wizkid quality. I don't think it was class. I think a lot of artists would have done better on that track than he did. And it's normal. These people are influential, but still, they have low periods, and not everything they sing is to be adored and worshipped. So this album would be a 7 over 10 for me. Not that you care, but to be a 7 over 10 for me, I think most Nigerians will agree that 7 or 6 would be fair. If, certain albums are over 10, then this would be satisfaction level of this album. And going back to the fans, you have to understand that when you compare quality, leave your love aside. Quality of the music, what is the message, for example? And I'm not here to start preaching or anything, but he came from a time when there was trauma in his household. He just lost a child, right? And then he went silent for a while. And when you trying to bring an album after that experience, and your PR and your hype before the album is saying a time for this, a time for that, and they're like using. He didn't directly use the loss of his child to promote his album, of course, but that doesn't take away the fact that it's in our heads. And if you're going to release an album on short notice, as I would say, just after losing your child, we would expect a level of emotion in that album. We'd expect a level of, tribute in the album, and everything else is just void of that. It's dry, and I couldn't see anything tribute to Ifani. It's his son; he can do what he likes, and maybe he already had the album in the chamber before releasing it at this point. But still, I expected a little better, and I believe that's what the people are arguing. People who are Whiskey FC, who are trying to just trash the entire album and saying it's trash. No, I'm not with you guys, But at the same time, it's not eargasm, all right? It's not off the top. It's not number one charting album in Nigeria in the last 2 years even. And we should just slow down on all that dick riding for a bit and begin to and just listen to the songs one by one, and you'll understand that Timeless itself is a good song. One for the Road is a good song, but many of the others, maybe the one with Ashake also is nice, but many of the others really, I'm not sleeping on them. They are okay songs, but I'm not going to keep them on repeat. Thank you very much for listening, watching the Living Podcast. Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow, whatever.